Feeling beautiful is an inside job, but it pays to look the part. Hi, I'm Serena, and together with the Sparkle Squad, we're dedicated to helping our sparkly see themselves in the best light. When you look good, you feel good, and when you feel good, you sparkle. Hey everyone, welcome to Sparkle. Let's meet this episode's Sparkle Squad. Counselor Tracy Watley of Island Therapy, stylist Veronica Julius, owner of Sassy V Collectibles, and myself, Sharena Mills, your host and skincare specialist of Necessary Beauty. Our sparkly, Vernon Henry, was deeply affected by the death of his older sister due to domestic violence. Here's his story.
My name is Vernon Henry. I am 39 years old. My sister and I relationship was very close. As much as my sister was 7 years older than I, she always spoke with wisdom. And she was a very kind person to everybody. Anybody who come across my sister when she was alive, they could speak of a good report. When my sister got married to her husband, I told him to take care of my sister. I always visit them, make sure they're all right. First of all, I noticed that she was very quiet. And then I will help her in the house. And then when he appeared, she would dive out to something else. I said, Diane, something going on? Then she will say, everything okay, Vernon? So at the time, I believed that. Because I even told her, you're married to him. If there's any ill treatment, just walk away. It was 2004 when the murder took place. I could recall when she told me when she was going to work. But before she went to work, she had filed for divorce. She was taken from her job at Cajolo. And her friends during at the time told her not to go with him. He drove straight to Sandy Point, took her to the apartment, and that is when the occurrence took place. He took the knife, started to stab up her hands. He just continued stabbing and stabbing until eventually she gone. One of her arms was gashed out where you could see the bone. And during when you lose blood, you're gonna get weak. So after when my sister fell down and outside from the apartment, that is when he took the weapon and gashed my sister's neck and sliced her throat. And my sister got murdered during the process. Persons who I spoke to, they told me that a lot of persons were there trying to prevent any more harm, towards my sister. I was in Bastia at the time when a police officer told me that my sister just got murdered. Because the thought was my sister coming home 6 o'clock, not knowing that she's in Sandy Point getting murdered. So I really had felt, like helpless. And when I reached home, I saw my mother in an alley talking to a lady. A lady said to my mother, they just killed your daughter. And my mother took in, fell on the ground, and then I had to call ambulance for my mother. When I went to the High Court, I went on 2 occasions to sit into the case, and the husband was very calm. My mother was there as well, but after a while, my mother and I turned off. Yeah, it was too much to be at the time, especially for my mother losing her own first daughter, her oldest daughter. So, and then she said to me, let's go. So I took my mom and we left the courthouse. I'm pleading to the woman or anybody out there in society that if you're going through any domestic abuse, instead of sitting down and keep it inside, where it can lead to anger and frustration, and then something happen where you regret for the rest of your life. Anytime you see a man raise his hand to hit a woman, the intention is there. It's just a matter of time.
Vernon's story was one of those stories that was really
close to a lot of people's hearts, especially how it happened. You know, it was domestic violence. It was really something. It was very emotional. Taking care of yourself sometimes it's difficult. From my perspective as a woman and then dealing as a man, it's hard, especially knowing that, you know, you're close and maybe I could have done something, maybe I should have known, maybe I should have been there, you know, so it's a lot of doubt sometimes thinking about it. And even it's been a long time, still when you see a picture you think about, I could have done something, you know.
I actually have a personal connection to that story. I remember where it was when it happened. I did not know it was Vernon's sister, so a flood of emotions came over me again when I heard his story. And to this day, I still can't even imagine what he was going through, because he said his sister and him were close. And I'm an only child, but I could imagine losing one of your siblings to horrific murder. And I'm sympathizing with him right now, actually. Sad.
Very inspiring because of the fact that, you know, he would have gone through the grieving process, and he has now taken that experience as to drive his advocacy for speaking up about domestic violence.
Tracy Watley, our counselor, engaged Vernon in a conversation about his unfortunate experience.
You know, I always told myself, and I always told my mom before she's passed now, that I'm going to be a voice for the nation.
So advocacy.
I am seeing it playing out.
We need more men speaking up, because men don't talk. You don't talk. Our culture doesn't embrace it for males because they think that this type of conversation makes you're not manning up, because you are expected to be tough and hard. So, hey, let me give you a chance to introduce yourself to our Sparkle.
I am 40 years old. I am also a citizen of this great nation, and I am proud to be a Kittitian. At the time, we family didn't know that domestic abuse was going on, and it had a point where she came and lived with our mother. So subsequently, before she had left the home in Sandy Point, she filed for divorce based on what took place, and then eventually he went upon the job at Cajola and told her that the children them are sick, which was a lie. And apparently my sister told me that she will be coming home by 6 o'clock p.m. that Thursday afternoon when the ordeal took place. And we didn't know that she was taken to Sandy Point, where the incident occurred, from in the apartment until he reached outside on the basketball court. After that, he took the last breath of her by cutting her throat. I fell down to the ground and I started to cry a lot. I was only 20 years old at the time. We always had that connection, and I really felt like a piece of me had gone as well at the time. But I told my mom, we have to be strong, internally and mentally. Even though at the time, you know, it was real saddened that my mother lost her first child, her first daughter. Where, you know, I heard my mom say one time that, you know, there's nobody to, you know, comb her hair anymore, or plait her hair anymore. So he had a toll on my mom as well too. And my other brothers and sister, they had felt it too. So it's like, if you're in a domestic relationship, abuse, it could be mental abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse, you have to find a way to reach out to someone who can, you know, guide you or help you to be a safe haven. Because if you stay there and you ain't say nothing, it can also lead to death. And persons out there who are victims, Don't stay in because you say, I love the person, because that is not love. Abuse is not love.
I remember that there were children involved. And so how did the family move forward in terms of dealing and explaining this to the children?
Well, they were very young at the time. And as they go, they was told about it. And I could have saw some effect on the daughters. At the time, they were not attending school. So as the uncle, I make sure I reach by the school, I liaise with the principal, I ask what is going on, why they're not attending school, and I went and looked for them. I saw that they cannot go down a road of destruction, in spite that what happened to their mother and father. I would have liked them to see them come out to be something. And presently, as I speak, they're doing well.
In terms of our community, how do you think that the community would have reacted in a way in terms of to help in moving forward?
At the time, I saw a person with plaque, with my sister picture, with whatever information pertaining to domestic violence. So that is a start as a foundation to ensure that the community also reach out, not to turn a blind eye, because I know to a fact where people will make reports, but reports need to be dealt with seriously when it comes to domestic violence.
I'm happy to see that Vernon would have used all his pain and anguish and turned it into being an advocate for persons who are experiencing domestic violence. It's really important that sometimes we channel our hurt into something that is productive. It helps us a lot in terms of healing, because it brings us into feeling like we have control over what it is that is happening. So I'm really happy that Vernon will have reached that stage of his process. There isn't a win-win situation with domestic violence because of the fact that all family members are impacted. And so, within our community, domestic violence, it is sometimes seen as a gender-specific idea, but we all know that both males and females are abused domestically. Don't be ashamed of having to report that this is what is happening. Important even for us in the community, when it is that we notice something, that we try as much as possible to be a helping hand and not so much of a gossiper about these situations.
Can I get a wow? It's the sound you'll make when you get out alone. From a place you once knew to a dream home come true. Wow, for a home like new. Wow, it's the effect you'll get when you upgrade your home.
Upgrade, improve, enhance your home with National Bank's Wow Mortgage for the effect you'll get when you upgrade your home. Lowest interest rate guaranteed and the most favorable terms.
It's Wow Mortgage. Can I get a wow?
It is now time for Veronica to help Vernon select an outfit for his final transformation.
Vernon, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon, Vernon. How are you?
I'm fine.
Thank you for meeting me here today. So let's shake it off a little bit. Let me see. Shake it off. Shake it off. Yeah, shake it off. So, Vernon, I'm smiling because you're so relaxed. You're so relaxed. See, I like that now. So now we're here to do a little makeover. What's your favorite color?
Brown is my favorite color.
Sorry to watch it brown.
Yes.
Okay, so that means that are you open for me to try something new?
Sure, I have no problem. It's always good to have a new look.
Okay, then, so I can't wait to make you over. This is a real makeover. Brown is brown. When I met Vernon, he's so serious. And I understand why he's so serious because, you know, where he works, you have to be serious, you have to be stern. So it was a little bit hard to get him to smile. I had to bust a few jokes to get him to smile, but it was easy. He was open to whatever you think I will look with him. It was easy.
On your own, oh yeah. Build your future today. Let Own Mortgage show you the way. On your own, your family, your home, build it with pride. National Bank is right here by your side. With every step, with every loan. National Bank helps you find your own, oh yeah. Build your future today. Let Own Mortgage show you the way. On your own.
It's Transformation Day, but before the final reveal, I introduced Vernon to some skincare products for men and helped him to develop a simple routine of his own.
I'm feeling good. No, I'm not nervous. I'm looking forward to the facial. You know, it's something I never did before, and it will be good to enhance that. I don't normally do self-care, but if the privilege is there, I will make sure it happens.
Okay, Vernon, so before I teach you about skincare, especially for men, we have to find out what skin type you are. So off the bat, from my expertise, I can tell that you probably suffer from breakouts when you have a little bit of texture issues. And a lot of men have texture issues because they have to shave, right? You get ingrown hairs and you get razor bumps from shaving. Do you dry shave?
I use the cream, the full cream.
Yeah. So you always want to do that. You want to avoid dry shaving because dry shaving is the reason you're going to get razor bumps. Pigmentation, that's when you get darker in the area you shave. And it's the reason you're going to get ingrowns. And you want to avoid those because those are really hard to deal with as a man, right? You want to be confident and you don't want to have to worry about bumps and indentations in your skin because of how you shave. So always stick with cream, moisturizing cream when you shave. Don't ever do dry shaving, right? So because you have oily skin, we're going to have to use products that are made for oily skin, right? So one thing you're going to have to do is get products. For example, our first step would be to cleanse your skin. I am trying my hardest in the last 10 years to get rid of stereotypes that men are feminine because they look after themselves, right? Men work hard, so they deserve to look after themselves even more. Not saying that they work harder than us women, but so I don't know when we're gonna get rid of this ideology that a man who looks after himself is a metrosexual. Remember, I don't know if you know that term, or feminine. For some reason, we have this connotation that looking after yourself or self-care is feminine when it's actually very masculine because it's about survival, right? So your skin will tend to age a little bit faster if you're in the sun a lot, right? With us, with people of color, you don't age as fast because we have melanin. So this one has SPF in it, like sunscreen, and it has 15, which is a good amount for us. We don't need a lot. I would say 30 is good, but for men, you ain't gonna care, right? So when you're on the job, you ain't care what SPF you have on, you just want something that protects you, okay? Well, we discussed Vernon's skin type, and we found out that he had oily skin, and you could see remnants of past breakouts on his skin, and because he has to shave every single day for his job, it is a little traumatic to the skin too. So men who shave every day, you have to take extra care because you can be prone to ingrown hairs and razor bumps, hyperpigmentation because of the razor constantly rubbing against the skin. It will create melanocyte cells. So you have to pay really good attention to your skin when you're shaving and if you have oily skin. And for Vernon, those were two factors that came to my mind when we were doing his facial, right? Because you need to be around for a long time and look good doing it.
Yes, I felt good, and the experience has been a journey. And I appreciate for what you all did for me. And going forward, I could continue to be a role model as well. Yes, I want to thank all who took part along with me. I just want to say a hearty thank you for everything.
Oh, he did hot. Can I say that? Oh, he did look really nice because most of the times if I do see him, when I met him and when I do see him, he's always in uniform. So it was really comforting to see him outside of that and outside his comfort zone. He did look really nice.
Veronica have a style that you just imagine that, you know, you could always even count on her to even choose something that is very wonderful as well. So I want to big up Veronica. Yes, the skin care, as an individual, you got to take care of your skin to make sure that all is well for your health being going forward.
I mean, Vernon is a handsome man to begin with, so he looked pretty dapper. I don't know if people still use that word, but he looked pretty dapper after his makeover transformation, and I like to see men who are confident and feel good about themselves. You know, as women say, it's kind of sexy to see a man who, you know, is sure about himself. And with the transformation that we did, I'm pretty sure that helped.
Yes, I want to say to the general public once again that if you're experiencing any difficulty pertaining to abuse or violence at home or anywhere, that you find measures to put in place to get out and find a place of safe haven. The session with Tracy was very informative, also educational, so you could educate the general public on domestic awareness or any type of abuse. Gender equality is very important to everybody.
From his stylish outfit to his glowing skin, Vernon's transformation definitely made him sparkle. Hello everyone, welcome to Sparkle Tips. Not getting the right amount of sleep is a disaster for your skin. During the nighttime, the skin repairs itself by building new cells and replacing collagen damaged by the sun exposure and pollution during the day. Lack of sleep cuts these benefits and causes side effects such as dark circles, shallowness, and puffiness under the eyes. So make sure you get enough sleep. Remember, everyone deserves a little sparkle.